In a time of dragons, mead, and suspiciously modern vehicles, three adventurers approach the gates of destiny. First, emerging from the shadows of the 2008 Nissan Rogue, is Kross the Shadowblade. Dressed in pitch-black rags of intimidation and questionable hidden weaponry, he strikes fear into the hearts of minstrels and parking attendants alike. His cloak flaps ominously, his pants strategically shredded, his shoes possibly stolen from a Hot Topic in 2006, a rogue, a rebel, a dad with a selfie stick.
All right, let's go this way. Where are you going? I'm assuming it's this way. There's too much traffic on this road.
We need to go up this way.
There's too much traffic on this road, so...
Yeah, Jayce.
Let's go this way.
Spent long enough on that.
By his side, Jayce the Enchanted, an elf bard blessed with the power of song, charm, and dangerously high fantasy fashion. Adorned in a corset of floral bravado and layered skirts of questionable mobility, Jayce commands attention, and possibly the Wi-Fi. Jewelry jingles, hair glows, eyeliner and face art could slice a goblin clean in half. And then there's Xylas the Chrono-Contrarian, a lone time traveler from the distant age of right now. Clad in a glitchy t-shirt of shimmering space rainbow static and armed with a backpack full of 21st century water bottles, he defies tradition. Where others bring swords, he brings Velcro. Where others wear leather boots, he stomps in galactic sneakers. Truly, a disruptor of medieval norms. Together, they are a party unlike any other. 3 timelines, 1 parking lot, 0 clue where the turkey leg line starts. And thus begins their quest to eat like nobles, shop like hoarders, and avoid any and all uncomfortable interactions with improv actors. The Renaissance Festival will never be the same. And so, just as our heroes approached the gates of adventure, fate intervened in the form of a man with a fake accent and far too much commitment to eye contact.
Hello, my friends.
Hello.
We wish to become a lord or knight today. Meet the queen herself. With that, you could, even if you're from 2077, you could join the queen's army.
Awesome.
All right,
Would you like
take
to
it.
take that, or whoever?
I'll take it. Thank you.
And have a wonderful day.
With the booming confidence of someone who said "milord" unironically for the past 6 weekends, a quest giver appears. He offers a challenge, a noble task to retrieve clues from the ancient halls of the castle. But Xylas, ever the time traveler, stands firm. "I'm from the future," he declares, with the conviction of someone who absolutely does not want to solve medieval riddles while surrounded by people in tights. The man insists, "The future is welcome here. The quest is for all who walk the realm," and that's when Kross does what all loving parents must eventually do at a Renaissance festival. He grabs the paper, mutters a half-hearted thank you, and extracts his party like a rogue, fleeing a charisma check gone wrong. No eye contact, no lingering, just a swift, polite retreat into the safety of the crowd. The mission now? Escape the interaction before it turns into full-blown improv. Some say the quest paper still lingers in Kross's pocket, uncompleted, a relic of an awkward moment passed down from father to son. And thus, the party moves on, not in shame, but in strategic emotional disengagement, onward to less interactive adventures.
Big brother! Boom!
But lo, who awaits them inside the gates of destiny?
A party dude.
I'm a lazy fucker that's tired. That's my costume.
Tired already? We just got here.
At last, our time-warped trio steps into the heart of the realm, where the crowd bustles and people say huzzah like they mean it. And here stands Kross's brother-in-law, Scott, unarmored, unadorned, unmoved by fantasy, dressed in the traditional garb of the realm of suburbia, cargo shorts, t-shirt, sensible shoes, and the unmistakable aura of "I'm just here for the kettle corn."
Now we're ready.
A mysterious figure cloaked in digital anonymity. Yes, it's Carissa the Censored, whose true form is lost to time, or the video editing software. She has chosen the rare and powerful spell, "Please don't put me in your weird little vlog." While others arrived as rogues, elves, and interdimensional explorers, Carissa and Scott arrived as witnesses, background characters in a medieval drama. Rumor has it they were given the option to dress up. They declined. Bold, uninspired, efficient. Still, every quest party needs its grounded observers, those brave enough to wander the kingdom dressed as if they might be running errands afterward. Not all heroes wear capes. Some just wear sunscreen.
Again.
Right in, 3 lights. Welcome to Castleton.
I got it open.
That's a neat looking shirt. Need that Back to the Future hat. There's a guy in here who has one.
No kidding. All right.
Yeah, I can't.
He's got a little hoverboard here.
Right on. Here we are, child, the Renaissance era. What do you think of the Renaissance?
Awesome. Looks just like Dad's game.
You mean The Witcher or Kingdom Come?
Yeah, Kingdom Come. It looks like Kingdom Come.
Okay.
After dodging improv quests, surviving awkward reunions, and crossing the outer lands of Parking Lotia, our adventurers finally arrive at the sacred gates of entry. The tickets are scanned. The moment is official. They are inside the realm. No refunds, no turning back. And now begins the grand tradition of all Renaissance festivals, the aimless wandering. Our adventurers take their first steps into the bustling marketplace, where the scent of roasted meats mingles with the faint panic of people realizing this is the most crowded day of the month. Somewhere ahead, Carissa, the Censored, leads the way, moving like a rogue on a stealth mission through a crowd of bards, pirates, wizards, and at least one guy who's clearly just here for the giant beer stein. After navigating a sea of velvet capes, ratchet belly dancers, and questionable sword vendors, the party finds sanctuary. Table and the universal unifier, cold drinks. Carissa, the Censored, reappears just long enough to sip something carbonated and immediately fade back into facial blurriness. Scott enjoys a soda with the stern focus of a man who has no regrets. Jayce sips gracefully, elfin elegance even in a styrofoam cup, and Xylas, the futuristic rebel, chooses a classic soft drink, unbranded, probably caffeinated, timeless. And then there's Kross. While the rest of the table enjoys refreshment suitable for older miners and designated drivers, Kross sips from a chalice of chaos. A goblet of hard liquor mixed with apple beer, because if you're going to descend into Renaissance inebriation, why not do it with notes of orchard and regret? This isn't just a drink, it's a statement, a warning. A potion brewed in the back of a tavern by a man named Chuck, who swears it tastes just like cider but makes your legs forget how to function. Back up and on the move, Kross and Scott scan the terrain. Jayce keeps pace with practiced bardic grace. Xylas gazes into the crowd like a time traveler trying to process Wi-Fi withdrawal. Together, they weave through the crowd, past women with turkey legs, past the ratchet belly dancers, past at least 2 people who look like they could absolutely offer another unwanted side quest. And now, the party enters the fabled Bazaar of Baubles, a mystical marketplace of handmade treasures, medieval curiosities, and items priced as if gold is still the standard currency. Before them lies a glorious rack of enchanted bonk sticks, decorative percussion relics passed down through generations of children with no volume control. These artifacts, painstakingly hand-painted and spiritually overpriced, promise joy, whimsy, and possibly a shattered eardrum if misused. But alas, the party does not draw their coin purses. They gaze with admiration and the unmistakable frugality of travelers who've just paid $28 for a few soft drinks and a shot of liquor. The next goal, catch up to Carissa. The challenge, she has no idea she's the final boss of a medieval Where's Waldo scenario, and so they follow, blending in and standing out, tourists in time, making their way through the kingdom of chainmail, chaos, and a kitty tail poking out the bottom of a girl's dress. Is the kitty tail sewn in or held in place by some other mysterious means? We'll never know. The adventurers stumble upon another merchant's tent, but this one is different. Here, mounted upon the wooden walls, lie the remains of something. Deer, goats, forest spirits who didn't pay their taxes. Each piece is a haunting blend of natural bone, preserved moss and vaguely magical trinketry. Are they wall art? Are they curses? Are they just expensive dust collectors? The answer is yes.
What's happening here? What's going on?
We're going in the castle.
This is the actual castle
Then you
part.
can go whichever way.
Yeah, you just kind of go through it, and
We actually being alive.
it's random.
And so, the journey continues. Through the noise, through the crowd, through the swirling chaos of leather, lace, and unregulated body glitter, our heroes approach the next threshold, the castle. The path is not easy. Children dart like rogue fairies. A man in full chainmail blocks traffic while fondling a crystal necklace. Someone sneezes and shouts, "Huzzah!" immediately afterward. No one questions it. Every few steps, the party is lured off course by shiny weapons, mysteriously labeled potions, or some poor soul selling $60 wands made from sticks that were definitely picked up off the ground. And at long last, they reach the heart of the castle, the sacred inner chamber. In the center of this hallowed hall, a lone gargoyle waits. With practiced coordination, they set the camera. The rogue and the time traveler take their positions, ready to commemorate their journey with a sacred gesture of power, throwing up peace signs like time-traveling hoodlums. They stand before the gargoyle, not as mere fairgoers, but as legends in their own right, one who mastered the gravitron, one who defied the Renaissance dress code. United now, forever immortalized next to a magical lawn ornament with a hydration issue. In this moment, father and son claim their place in the kingdom, not with swords, but with swagger. And so, the scroll is unrolled once more. Kross, with the determination of a man who absolutely does not remember what the instructions were, studies the ancient parchment handed to his son by that overly enthusiastic gate wizard. Carissa leans in thoughtfully. Scott observes, like a man already checked out, and Jayce, blessed be thy social navigation skills, points subtly toward a nearby gathering of equally confused festival-goers.
Well, to wait in line or to not wait in line? That is the question.
Spoiler alert, they chose not to. The scroll returns to Kross's pocket, still unfulfilled, still slightly crumpled, and forever a symbol of that one Ren Fair side quest they absolutely could have done, but chose not to. And so continues Kross's noble pursuit, not of treasure nor trinkets, but of affection. He's determined to honor his beloved bard, embarked on a quest for the ultimate romantic token, something worthy of Jayce. And under $20. Jayce, ever the composed elven enchanter, walks beside him with the serenity of someone who knows full well that 90% of Ren Fair gifts are just shiny rocks and unwearable rings. The response remains steady and unwavering.
Place with junk you would like.
I don't know. Looks like a bunch of teacups.
You like that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't want to spend that kind of money on that kind of stuff. Wait till I see something real good. I'll tell you.
Go with them.
But Kross is not deterred. He peers into every tent. He observes every bauble. He briefly considers a handcrafted leather frog pouch before realizing it's $80. This is not just shopping. This is courtship under capitalism. A rogue's romantic panic. A festival-fueled love language made of trinkets and desperation.
Well, I could definitely film it.
The music fades, the crowd applauds, spirits are lifted, and now it's back to business. Reunited with the fellowship of the soft drinks, Kross spots something in the distance. Then hope. A stand glimmers on the horizon. Necklaces, charms, trinkets that say, "I love you," or at the very least, "I thought about buying something." Even Xylas joins the search, his futuristic instincts scanning for something worthy of the Bard King himself. A time traveler and a rogue, united in a sacred quest for a necklace that says, "I care about you," without screaming, "I bought this in a panic while you were in the bathroom." But alas, they walk away empty-handed, but not empty-hearted. For in the end, it's not about the necklace. It's about the effort, the search, the brief, beautiful moment where a son helped his dad try to impress a person way cooler than both of them combined. The quest continues, but for now, they press on knowing that love cannot be bought, at least not for under $35. And then, they find them. The noble steeds of the realm, ponies, small, majestic, and deeply underwhelmed. These pint-sized warhorses now serve a different cause, not in battle, but in slowly circling a fenced-off area for the entertainment of sugar-rushed brats wielding plastic swords.
What's wrong with it?
Look how fucking sad they are. They
look so
got metal
real.
in their mouths. They don't want to change this.
Jayce, ever the empathetic bard, gazes into their eyes, not with glee, but with sorrow. Jayce sees through the leather straps and photo-op smiles. Their eyes look so sad, spoken as if reciting a line from a tragic woodland ballad. And honestly, it's true. Those ponies have seen some things. They've carried knights, wizards, kids named Braden, and at least one fat dad who absolutely should not have tried to sit on them for the sake of a funny photo. And just minutes after mourning the tragedy of the ponies, our heroes do what any emotionally well-rounded adventurers would do. They pay to ride a camel. Yes, a real camel. Towering, majestic, and radiating the energy of an animal who's absolutely done with this festival. Kross and Xylas mount their desert steed and brace for the pure, unfiltered wobble. Whoa! It's so bumpy, Xylas declares, bouncing like a ragdoll at medieval Burning Man, and bumpy it is. Graceful? No. Comfortable? Also no. But fun? Absolutely. The rogue and the time traveler ride high, literally, grinning like two kids who just found the cheat code to festival happiness, above the crowd, above the chaos, above the ponies with their sad, judgmental eyes.
Alright. Yeah, sure, we'd love to pet. Hey, child, pet this camel with me. This is Cletus. Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thanks for the ride, Cletus.
That was awesome.
The ride ends. The noble beast pauses, its handler holding its reins, allowing the heroes to offer thanks in the form of awkward but enthusiastic petting. It stands still, patient, regal, tolerating affection the way only a professional camel can, with mild disdain and eternal wisdom. In that moment, father and son shared something rare, a camel ride neither of them expected, but both will definitely brag about later. Truly, a memory forged in fur, fun, and one very uneven gait.
Alright, come on. Alright, this way, child. That was fun. That was bumpy, huh?
I know, that was awesome. Awesome for sure. Should've got that on video.
I did.
Sounds like he's drank. He went to the bar so many times.
It was a bumpy ride, but we did it.
Was it fun?
Eventually, the party regathers, safely seated in the kingdom's finest bleachers, positioned for what promises to be a grand spectacle, or at least something that involves yelling, pointy sticks, or both.
Mm-hmm.
I ride an actual camel, Jayce, like a real one.
Did it sting?
Yeah, sure. What?
As the crowd gathers and the event stalls, our rogue finds himself with nothing but time, and a camera. Kross begins the ancient ritual known as the pan shot, a full circle sweep of the kingdom, bleachers full of weary travelers, knights munching kettle corn, a fairy checking her phone, a woman dressed as Spider-Man pulling a wedgie out of her ass.
Surprise.
They don't know that I have a real sword.
With a flick of his cloak and the smooth unsheathing of cold steel, he confesses. The gladius slides back into its sheath. The laughter slips out. The threat? Mild. The commitment to the bit? Legendary. Some bring backpacks, some bring musical instruments. Kross brought steel, just in case things got too historically accurate, and the crowd remains unaware that seated among them is a rogue, a father, and a man mildly violating security protocol, all wrapped in one very dramatic cape. And now, behold, the kingdom's finest take to the dusty runway. It's time for medieval street style, where the fashion is fierce, the leather is questionably sourced, and the heat stroke is very real. First up, we've got what appears to be the Tavern Girls Gone Wild crew. Ruffled skirts, corsets tighter than a bard's harmony, and boots made for stomping right through someone's ale cart. Those are some thighs and calves that could crack a flagon. We have the Renaissance Fair's own Chun-Li. And on the right, oh yes, we see you, Princess Bubblegum meets Woodland Sprite. Pink, frilly and frolicking through the dust like a glitter bomb went off in an apothecary. It's chaotic, it's fabulous, it's absolutely what the Renaissance needed. And here they come, the power trio of the Ren Fair runway, serving medieval magic, floral flair, and the unmistakable energy of three women who would absolutely steal your soul and then ask if it comes in a gluten-free option. Leading the coven, Winifred the Wine Witch, hair full of secrets, bodice full of vengeance. She's casting spells and side-eyes in equal measure. Next, Sarah Sunflower Sanderson, who clearly pivoted from luring children to running an essential oils empire out of her cauldron. That pose says, yes, I can curse you, And yes, it smells like lavender. And rounding out the trio, Mary the Mead Mom. She's got practical shoes, a working apron, and the aura of someone who could kill a man with a roasted yam and make it look like an accident. Together, they walk like they've just finished summoning a minor weather system and are now off to absolutely destroy the craft soap aisle. And right there in the middle of the crowd, we spot him, the man, the myth, the majestic blue-tailed mystery. Yes, that's another person with a tail, not metaphorical, not subtle, just aggressively blue, like someone skinned Sonic the Hedgehog and said, "You know what? Let's make this Renaissance now." He's got the swagger of a rogue, the outfit of a roadie, and the tale of a man who definitely told someone earlier, "It's part of my OC lore, okay?" One thing's for sure, he may not know where he's going, but his tail gets there first. And lumbering through the dusty path comes the great pumpkin of the realm. Clad in harvest hues and tactical dad pants, he walks like a man who knows two things: how to hold a folding chair and how to crush a plate of meat on a stick without chewing. Legend has it, when the Renaissance moon is full and the mead flows freely, he transforms from mild-mannered festival-goer into Sir Gord of the lazy river, defender of funnel cake. That orange shirt? Bold choice. Somewhere between pumpkin spice and Home Depot seasonal aisle manager. Armed with a tripod and the energy of a man about to fall asleep standing up, he strides through the fair, ready for battle or a snack break. Honestly, probably both. I certainly would not want to joust him, though. And here, front and center, we witness a crossover event no one asked for. Hot Topic Enchanted Forest Edition meets The Sorcerer Who Lived. Probably. First up, we've got Fairylicious the Fey Queen, stomping into the shot like she just got voted most likely to hex her ex in a community theatre production of Midsummer Night's Dream. The wings, majestic, the boots, tactical, the skirt, somewhere between Renaissance and roller derby. She's not fluttering through the woods, she's kick-flipping through the Feywild. And beside her, what's this? A wizard, a rogue professor, a very lost member of Gryffindor on gap year. The look says, "I studied magic at a university you've never heard of." The hair says, "I own a snake and won't explain why." And the vibe, chaotic neutral who insists on speaking in riddles at brunch. Together they form a duo of chaotic energy and genre confusion, ready to charm, duel, and steal your lunch money with a glitter bomb and a wand that probably doesn't work. And as the crowd continues to flow, the parade of capes, corsets, and creative choices marches on. Endlessly. There are too many boots, too many belts, too many grown adults dressed as magical creatures who would absolutely correct your pronunciation of wyvern. We'd love to roast them all, truly. Each one a beautiful disaster, a walking lore inconsistency, a budget cosplay masterpiece in motion. But alas, time is short and the roast queue is long. Somewhere out there is a guy dressed as a Viking Jedi, and we'll never get to him. So we move on. Blessed by the chaos, mildly confused by the fashion, and forever changed by the things we've seen and can't unsee. Okay, just one more roast. This man right here, the myth, the walking side quest, Sir Sweeps-a-Lot. Armed with a broom large enough to summon storms and sweep souls, he marches through the fair like a janitor who was bitten by a radioactive barbarian. That's not just a cleaning tool, it's a statement piece. That broom isn't for sweeping floors, it's for asserting dominance over dust, peasants, and possibly wayward goblins. Every step he takes echoes with the energy of a man who told his friends, "I got this outfit from a thrift store," and divine inspiration. The yellow tunic, blinding. The leather belts, more strapped than a low-budget Batman reboot. And the strut? Oh, he knows what he's doing. He didn't come here to LARP. He came here to sweep the competition. If you ever wondered what would happen if a medieval warlord and a Home Depot garden department had a baby, wonder no more. This is it. And now, a rare and majestic creature appears, somewhere between jungle fowl and a Renaissance yard pigeon. No one knows its true name, but scholars refer to it only as the feathered enigma. Kross and Xylas approach the enclosure with caution, reverence, and absolutely no clue what they're looking at. Here they perch, motionless, proud, and slightly judgy, birds of prey who once ruled the skies and now participate in weekend educational demonstrations between kettle corn stands. This one here, that's Sir Beaks-a-Lot, the fourth of his name. He's seen things, he's done things. He's legally not allowed to be near pigeons anymore. And that fierce gaze, that's not curiosity. That's the exact moment he decided whether or not you looked like a snack. Xylas and Kross admire from a safe distance, which is smart, because these birds come with built-in daggers and no patience for children pretending to be shiny rocks. Somewhere in the background, a handler watches quietly, ready to step in if anyone forgets rule number 1. Do not get your camera on that long selfie stick too close to the winged weapons. Majestic, dangerous, possibly unionized. These are not your grandma's parakeets. These are the raptors of Ren Fair, and they are judging your costume. And so, after a long day of swords, snacks, and suspicious birds, our adventurers return to the bleachers once more, drawn not by knowledge, but by the universal truth of the Renaissance Fair. If a crowd forms, something might happen. Before them, a sea of festival-goers gathers, some excited, some confused, all equally unsure if they're about to witness a tournament or a very enthusiastic puppet show. The trio takes their seats. They wait. They squint into the distance like seasoned warriors, scanning the horizon for plot. And then the event begins. A lone woman takes the stage, or rather the dirt. She speaks into an enchanted amulet of sound projection, but alas, the spell is garbled, muffled, lost to the wind and poorly tuned speakers. The birds glide, the handler mumbles, all is calm in the kingdom, and then chaos.
Something stinged me.
A scream, raw, unfiltered, Oscar-worthy, the kind of scream you only hear in haunted forests or when someone loses Wi-Fi. Kross turned in a panic, prepared to witness disaster. Was it a rogue falcon attack? A spontaneous combustion brought on by too many medieval tacos? Nope, just Xylas, completely intact, barely ruffled, and declaring dramatically, "Something stung me." This is the same child who survived the gravitron, conquered the spider, and rode a camel. But one rogue insect turns him into a medieval damsel in distress. Truly, a warrior undone by nature's tiniest assassin. A brave soul brought low by a bug the size of a breadcrumb. And so the show continues, the crowd moves on, and Xylas lives to scream another day.
For real? All right, we'll walk out, Yeah, we'll come out together.
And so, our heroes make their final march, 5 weary travelers, 1 crowded exit gate, 0 jousts. Kross the shadow rogue, still somehow carrying that real sword. Jayce the enchanted bard, unbothered, unburnt, still somehow looking like he just stepped off a fantasy novel cover. Xylas the chrono-contrarian, time traveler, bug victim, chaos agent. Let's not forget Carissa the censored, blurry as ever, and Scott the unarmored, who may not have dressed up but did survive a full Ren fair without throwing shade at anyone's elf ears. They leave not because the adventure is over, but because, like all great warriors, they got tired and wanted to beat traffic. In just one glorious day, this unlikely fellowship braved the dense crowds, evaded unnecessary quests, battled the sun, conquered the splurge spending, soared on a camel, mourned the ponies, and hunted for the perfect gift that was never meant to be found. They witnessed birds of prey defy gravity, watched performers mumble into magical earpieces, and nearly died of suspense, waiting for a joust that would never come. Xylas screamed like he had been cursed by a vengeful forest spirit, only to discover it was likely just a petty ant, or possibly a dry leaf with attitude. They roamed shops filled with overpriced trinkets, posed beside spitting gargoyles, and judged more costumes than a royal court at a cosplay tribunal. And now they leave the realm, not as visitors, but as survivors, with tired feet, full memory cards, and just enough sunburn to remember they lived. For in the end, they sought magic and found mayhem. They came for the joust and stayed for the birds. And though they leave empty-handed, they carry the greatest treasure of all, a day full of laughs, legends, and questionable leather accessories. And so ends the tale of the Fairbound 5. Until next year, brave travelers, when once again they may return to the land of corsets, kettlecorn, and broom-wielding barbarians.
It's like the son of a...
And it is 500 degrees in the car. All right, everybody. Did y'all enjoy the Ren Fair?
Oh! I think with some better preparations and understanding where events are and stuff, it would be a lot more enjoyable.
Yeah, that gay guy whooped out his titties.
Gay guy whooped out his titties.
Yeah.
I said, oh crap.
This ship goes both ways.
Oh my god. All right, you can roll up the windows now. The air's kicking in.
That was funny. I saw a man pull his child